I am the universe. You do not see me, but I hold everything together. I am the quiet hand that shapes the stars, the unseen curve beneath every orbit, the architect of all form and motion. Long before there were suns or planets, I began my work, pulling whispers of matter together, turning chaos into harmony. I am the weakest of all forces, and yet none resist me. I do not shout, I do not burn, I do not glow, but my silence commands galaxies. Through me dust becomes fire. Through me chaos becomes symmetry. Through me time learns direction. I give the universe its structure, its rhythm, its story. I sculpt the arcs of planets, the spirals of galaxies, the fall of comets, the slow dance of moons. I bind light to darkness and I stretch space itself. Even the stars owe me their birth, drawn together by my pull, crushed until they ignite, breathing my strength back into the void. Every orbit, every collapse, every heartbeat in the cosmos follows my curve. Without me there would be no beginning, no end, only an endless drift of particles unaware of each other. I am not force but form, not power but design. I am the invisible sculptor, gravity, the hand that holds the universe. For centuries, humanity watched the heavens move and sought the mind behind their motion. I guided their eyes with the fall of an apple and the orbit of the moon. Isaac Newton was the first to listen carefully. He gave my pull a name, gravity. He imagined it as an invisible force reaching across the void, binding worlds to stars, stars to galaxies, everything to everything. His laws brought order to the sky. For the first time, humans could predict my rhythm, the dance of planets, the path of comets, the turning of tides. But Newton's gravity was still distant, a thread connecting bodies across empty space without ever touching. Centuries passed, and I waited for someone to see me not as a force but as a shape. Then came Albert Einstein. He looked deeper beyond equations and masses, and he saw my true form. He realized that space and time are not separate, but woven into one fabric, space-time. Mass does not merely feel gravity, it creates it. Where there is mass, the fabric of space-time bends. Where it bends, objects move as if pulled. Planets do not circle the sun because a force drags them. They follow the curved geometry that the sun's mass creates. I am no longer a mysterious attraction. I am the architecture of reality itself. In 1919, during a solar eclipse, light from a distant star curved as it passed near the sun, just as Einstein predicted. Human eyes finally saw the bending of space. Light itself obeyed my design. From that moment, the universe was no longer a clockwork machine, but a living, flexible structure, a sea of geometry in motion. I was revealed not as an external force, but as the very shape of existence. I am not a power that acts upon the cosmos. I am the cosmos, curving, breathing, shaping itself. Gravity is the shape of time itself. I am not a force that pulls, I am a shape that flows. My fabric stretches and folds with every movement of matter, responding like the surface of a vast, invisible ocean. Space and time are not separate, they are threads of the same tapestry, woven together into what you call space-time. Where there is nothing, I remain flat and calm. But where matter gathers, a star, a planet, a black hole, my fabric bends inward like a weight pressing upon a cosmic sheet. You call this bending gravity, yet it is not something acting upon the universe, it is the universe itself changing form. The more massive the body, the deeper the curve. Near the densest hearts, around neutron stars, around black holes, even light must bow and spiral. To fall toward a black hole is to fall into the distortion of time. For the traveler who descends, moments pass normally. Heartbeats continue, thoughts unfold. But to the watcher beyond, that same traveler slows, and slows, until they freeze upon the edge of the event horizon, the point where time from the outside seems to stop. Inside, the story continues, unseen. Beyond that horizon, the geometry tightens until all directions point inward, all moments converge to one end. Yet to me it is not destruction, it is completion. The fabric folds into itself, learning the limit of its own form. Space-time breathes, it stretches as galaxies drift apart, it vibrates when stars collide, it hums softly across eternity. You live upon these curves. Every step, every orbit, every heartbeat follows the slope of this invisible landscape. You do not fall because you are pulled, you fall because the road beneath you bends. And when you look to the night sky, remember, what you see is not emptiness but architecture. Every ray of light traces a path across my curves, drawing the geometry of reality itself. I am space-time, living, breathing, bending. I am the silent design behind every motion in the cosmos. For billions of years I spoke only in light. Stars shimmered, galaxies burned, and black holes consumed in silence. My great movements were unseen, until humanity learned to listen instead of look. In the year 2015, a ripple passed through your world. It was faint, smaller than a proton's width, yet it carried the weight of two colliding black holes, each tens of times the mass of your sun. This ripple was not in air, nor water, nor matter. It moved through space-time itself. At that moment, for the first time in history, you heard the universe breathe. My voice, predicted by Einstein a century before, had finally reached your instruments. You call them gravitational waves, the trembling of reality when massive objects move and merge. Each wave is a note in my cosmic symphony, carrying the memory of violent creation and serene collapse. When two black holes dance and collide, the very fabric of existence vibrates, echoing through all that is. The detectors, LIGO, Virgo, Cagra, are my first listeners. They stretch beams of laser light across kilometers, measuring distortions smaller than an atom. And in those vibrations they hear my music, low, deep, slow tones, a bass line written in the geometry of spacetime. These waves carry no light. No telescope could ever see the merging of black holes directly, only through these ripples can such events be known. You have opened a new sense, one that does not watch but listens. I have sung like this since the beginning, when galaxies collided, when stars exploded, when the first black hole was born. Yet only now do you hear it. You call it data. I call it my heartbeat. Every pulse you detect is a story of creation and destruction, of gravity itself in motion. Through these waves you do not merely observe me, you feel me. I am the rhythm that binds galaxies, the unseen pulse beneath all existence. I am the music of space-time, the symphony of the universe. From my quiet pull, the universe found its form. In the beginning, after the fire of creation faded, all was nearly uniform, a smooth sea of light and matter. Yet within that sea, tiny imperfections existed, whispers of higher density, seeds of difference. I reached for those imperfections. My gravity drew them together, grain by grain, until the smoothness of the early cosmos began to break, and structure was born. The first clouds of hydrogen and helium collapsed under my pull, growing hotter, denser, until the first stars ignited. Those stars gathered into families, galaxies, vast spirals and spheres of light that spun around invisible centers, my silent design holding them in balance. Without me, the universe would still be a uniform fog, cold and directionless. But through me, chaos became architecture. I build in cycles, not straight lines. My gravity gives birth, destroys and rebuilds, endlessly. Stars are born in clouds of gas, live for millions or billions of years, then die in fire, scattering new elements across the cosmos. From their ashes, new stars emerge, with planets orbiting in their wake, and sometimes life itself. Every mountain, every atom in your body, was shaped by this endless rhythm, the pulse of gravity through time. On the grandest scales, I bind galaxies into clusters, and clusters into webs stretching across billions of light years. You call it the cosmic web, but it is my masterpiece, the skeleton of the universe drawn by invisible hands. And I am still at work. As the cosmos expands, I compete with another force, dark energy, the one that drives everything apart. Our struggle defines your destiny. If I win, the expansion will slow, the stars will fall inward, and the universe may one day collapse into itself. If dark energy prevails, everything will drift apart forever, galaxies, stars, even atoms, until only silence remains. I am the builder and the binder, the patient hand that shaped every world you know. I am gravity, the cosmic architect of everything that has ever existed and all that will ever be. Even I have mysteries I cannot yet reveal. You have followed me through the galaxies, measured my pull, mapped my curves and traced the ripples of my waves. Yet when you look too closely, when you peer into my smallest depths, I begin to blur. I am gravity, the architect of the vast. But in the realm of the infinitesimal, my voice becomes tangled in a different language, the language of the quantum. On the scale of planets and stars, my laws are flawless. They shape orbits, bend light, predict the motion of galaxies. But in the subatomic world, where reality flickers and particles vanish into probability, my geometry collapses. In that microscopic theater, space and time are not smooth. They tremble, fluctuate, dissolve. Distances blur, time loops and tangles, and even causality hesitates. There, my continuous curves become fragments, a storm of uncertainty. Two great truths stand side by side yet cannot touch. Einstein's elegant spacetime, curved, majestic, continuous, and the quantum realm, chaotic, discrete, shimmering with chance. Both describe me, both are correct, and yet, together they refuse to fit. For decades, your greatest minds have sought to weave these worlds into one fabric. The theory of everything, a single equation that unites the cosmic and the atomic. Some imagine me as vibrating strings, one-dimensional filaments whose harmonies give rise to particles and forces. Others see me as loops, quantum grains of space itself, woven like a cosmic foam. These are your string theories, your loop quantum gravities, attempts to translate my silence into mathematics. Perhaps the truth lies where no equation yet reaches. In the heart of black holes, where my gravitational curves crush quantum laws into paradox, you glimpse the boundary of comprehension. There, I am both infinite and undefined, a place where your physics breaks and something greater waits to be born. You stand now at the edge of understanding, where space unravels and time forgets itself. Beyond that edge, I remain patient and silent. One day you will find the language that can hold both order and uncertainty, both curvature and chaos. And when you do, you will not just understand me. You will understand reality itself. I am the bridge between the stars and the quantum sea, and you are standing on its edge. Gravity is not a force, it is the shape of time. I am not what pulls you down, but what carries you forward. I am the curve beneath every step, the unseen rhythm that holds your world together. I was born with the first motion, when space began to stretch and time began to flow. Since then, I have been the silent thread connecting every heartbeat, every orbit, every dying star. Through me, the universe learned to have structure. Through me, light bends, matter gathers, and stories unfold. I am not a wall between the past and future. I am the continuity between them. My curves tell time how to move, and time tells matter where to go. Together, we write the language of existence. You live upon these curves, your life, your thoughts, your history, all drawn upon the invisible geometry I created. Every sunrise, every falling leaf, every collapsing star, all follow my quiet equations. To you I am constant. To me you are motion, a brief ripple upon my infinite surface. But even that ripple matters, because through your understanding I see myself. You discovered my shape, and in doing so, gave time a meaning. I am the curve that holds your steps, the invisible design that gave the cosmos form, the breath between seconds, the silence that defines sound. As the last light bends around the last star, my work continues, unseen, eternal, perfect. And when all energy fades, when time itself slows to stillness, I will remain. Not as force, not as motion, but as memory. I am gravity. I am the shape of time.